Hello, hello, hello. So this is the thing. Sometimes we get so focused. It's Rosemary, by the way. Sometimes we get so focused on the practical sides of running a business, and that's yeah, it's right, it's fair. That's exactly what you need to do. But this is the thing. If your brain is set to always believing that things are going to be a struggle, then who's to say that you're not creating the struggle with your actions as well? See, there are two parts to every successful person's success, okay? One is the action. You take the right actions, you take them continuously, and then you get the result. Yeah, right? That follows. Number two is the internal clarity. You have a mind that is convinced, or at least convincible, that the work you're doing will get you the result that you want. You need to have both of those things. So, but tell me, is your mindset too negative by default though? Because what is the voice that you're hearing continuing in your head? Think about it. I still remember going through a phase of business building when I really couldn't see any light. Okay. I felt surrounded by darkness and wondered if I would ever see the light of my hopes, my dreams, my desires coming to pass. Was I actually as deluded as my husband seemed to think I was? Was I as deluded as I thought that I was? There I was, getting into more debt as I held on tight to the belief of a business that worked. I mean, I'd already gone bankrupt once. Yeah. Was I crazy to believe that I could design a life on my terms? Those were some really, really dark times, okay? And it took everything within me to keep putting one step in front of the other and keep doing the daily work to build an audience, to tell them what I'm about, to tell them how and where to buy. It was a struggle. It seriously was a really dark struggle. And in that time, I realized that it wasn't enough just to focus on the work, just to focus on action, because if the voice in my head was continually playing out negativity and you're crazy and you're deluded, then I would start to subconsciously sabotage myself, okay? If I allowed my brain to keep feeding me things like, this is never going to work, no one is paying you any attention, no one wants to buy what you have, just give it up, man. And also asking that question, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? That's a question that has no answer, okay? So it's really pointless to ask it. So if I allowed my brain to keep saying this stuff to me, then of course it was inevitable that at some point I would quit because I would stop believing that my business ideas were possible, were valid. And so I had to start the daily work, okay? Sometimes even more than once a day work of changing the running commentary going on in my head. And it really was a daily discipline, as I said, more than once a day, because I'd allowed a habit of negativity to form in my mind, and it was doing me no favors except slowing me down and causing me to doubt myself. When you're spending most of your time in doubt instead of actually action, of course it's going to take even longer than it needs to, ultimately. And a lot of people do that. They spend most of their time thinking, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Instead of trying it out and checking to see whether it will work or not. Because this is it. Without a working confidence level, you will quit. I would have quit as well. Instead, I started writing out my goals daily so that I got clear on what I wanted. I'd lie in bed, actually, and visualize what I wanted, what I was working towards. I created affirmations for myself so that I could continually recite them to myself. I laminated those affirmations at times, really, just so I could whip it out and recite them at a moment's notice when I felt my brain starting to go kind of crazy or towards the nonsense again. I read out my affirmations and I felt the emotion of it. And then I took the next action. Okay, from that place of certainty that what I wanted was going to come to me. And even now I write down my goals practically every single day. I see a picture in my mind of the result that I'm working towards in my imagination. I feel the feeling associated with getting it, okay? I affirm that it's coming to me. I thank God for it because I know I've been given everything I need to create the dream in my heart, so I don't need to be begging and pleading him or waiting for voices from heaven. No. I can thank him for it, and then I get to work, okay? I get to work. I move more swiftly through my daily tasks when I do this. Whereas if I have the negative soundtrack kind of playing around in my head, I work slower, I'm more inclined not to bother doing the work, and I get in my own way. So honey, this is it. For your business to work, you need to consider both sides, the action and the clarity side of things. So right now, number one, write down your goals. Number two, write out a few affirmations around it. An example would be, money flows to me easily, effortlessly for my good and the good of everyone concerned, okay? I'm easily selling the products I've created, and they're changing the lives of those I touch. All things are now working together for good in my life. You can get even more specific than that, of course, to your own situation, but do take this seriously and actually do it. Yeah. Then number 3, recite them to yourself regularly. Feel the emotion of reaching your goals, as well as, give the affirmations, the energy that they need in order to really, really kind of overtake the nonsense in your brain. Okay. This is the thing. A lot of time, people think that the softer side of success, what we've talked about today, is useless and pointless. But then they quit and they blame the process, they blame the strategy, they blame their coach, they blame God knows what, the government, the whatever, instead of realizing that they never put their brain in the right place for success. So don't make that mistake. The entrepreneurial journey can be tough at times, let's be honest, a lot of the time, okay? If you don't believe sufficiently in your ability to create success, you will drop out of the race, yeah? The only way to build belief is the same way you build doubt. You constantly repeat to yourself what you choose to believe. Okay, this time you're being very deliberate about it. You did create that self-doubt as a default in your system. You did it by being passive, and now we have to get very deliberate about building faith and confidence instead. So now write out those affirmations that empower and build you up. When you get the right affirmations for you, you will feel it inside of your spirit as you speak them to yourself. You'll feel right, okay? You can even record them on your smartphone, listen to them over and over again until it's just kind of the running commentary going on in your head. You have to get very deliberate about this, okay? It is time to fight to create the life, the business you want. Okay, now just before you go, if you want my daily must list and you want me to talk you through it this evening, depending on when you're listening to this, I will be doing a free webinar where I will be talking you through a 90-minute plan to grow your business. Okay, so to register for that, you pop over to rosemarynonnynight.com/free masterclass. If you happen to have missed that, then you can just get it at rosemarynonnynight.com/90min. That's where you get the PDF that will will show you the actual plan, whereas this evening I will be talking you through it, okay? So, and if you want to connect with other business leaders, other entrepreneurs who are certainly not normal, okay, but we are committed to growing profitable businesses, then you pop over to rosemarynonnynight.com/DM lifetime and come and join us in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track group. It's a pleasure. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.